Hi, my name is Katie Maxey, and I'm a registered dietitian with Brenner FIT. Here at Brenner FIT, we are commonly asked questions about portion sizes. People want to know how much they should eat at each meal and at each snack. That's a really hard question to answer. It's hard for me to know how much to recommend because I don't know how hungry someone is at each meal and at each snack. So instead of talking about portions, we like to talk about portions in a different way. We like to teach people how to notice their hunger, how to notice their fullness, and how to slow down their eating pace. Eating pace has a lot to do with how much we eat. When we eat slowly, our body has time to digest our food, and our brain gets the signal that we are starting to get full. But if we eat fast, we don't get that signal, and therefore we continue to eat. When we have a fast eating pace, we tend to overeat. So it's hard to slow down our eating pace in such a busy world. We're usually eating to rush to the next event. So we like to teach families good ways to try and slow down their eating pace. One example is to try and add conversation to the meal. If you add conversation, it will help naturally slow down the eating pace. One way to do this is to have things like conversation starters. You can find many conversation starters online. We have an own set here at Brenner FIT. You can find these to ask many different random questions. It just helps to get the family talking. One example of our conversation starters asks the question, if you had to leave the earth on a spaceship, what 3 things would you take with us? So if someone asks this question, everybody has to go around the table and answer the question. Another example is, what superpower would you like to have? Not only are you adding conversation to the meal, but you're finding out many things from your family that you would not normally find out. So conversation starters are a great way to get conversation going, which will help naturally slow down your eating pace. Another way that you can slow down your eating pace is to play something we call the fork game. With the fork game, the goal is to put your fork down in between bites. This sounds easy, but it's actually really hard to do. For example, if you take a bite of pasta or spaghetti, you have to put your fork down while you chew your spaghetti, and you can't pick it up to get another bite until after you're done chewing and swallowing. You can play this with your family by calling each other out, or you can make it more competitive by actually keeping up with points when you do call each other out. This is also another great game to play if you eat alone. Conversation starters would obviously not work for you, so the fork game would. Just trying to put your fork down between each bite helps you to slow down your eating pace. Thank you for joining me and talking about eating pace, a different way to talk about portion sizes.